Whew. Fun sesh on the HBS 1050. So I haven't ridden this one yet, and it's kind of end of the day. I've been riding the 1550 Armstrong 1550 V2 all day, and wind's up a little more swell than there's been. And I know that the HBS 1050 is kind of their bigger wing, but it's like whatever. Let me compare size to size. So this is a 1500 square centimeters compared to the Armstrong 1550 V2. So I kind of wanted to ride back and forth. The HBS 1050, you know, I rode on the rigging was 90 centimeter mast, and then this was the one I've been riding, the 643 black fuse. I kept this 375 tail wing on there because I've been liking that one. That's been pretty nice. And so, as with most of the axis stuff, I've been setting the mast farther back, about a centimeter back. One thing I did notice when I was changing over the rigging is that there was a bunch of corrosion kind of around where it was mounted to my mast, my prone board. And then when I took the top plate off, again, a bunch of corrosion. Not a big deal. It's just like salt that's going to just freaking eat away at the aluminum a little bit. I think from time to time, rinsing this stuff off would be a good idea. I don't know, I'm kind of lazy, just leave the stuff in my truck and go session when I want to. Obviously, I definitely don't want to make sure it seizes together, so taking it apart, greasing it every couple weeks is going to be necessary. But riding this, it's a really balanced wing. I think people used to be calling this a high aspect wing until they came out with the ART line. This is a pretty skinny, bladed out 1050. Well, it's a 1500. So it's pretty bladed out. It doesn't make it fast though. Like it's kind of draggy. Definitely really stable. Has a lot of front foot kick, so I moved the mast back to 1, which is the right position on the Armstrong FG board. It has a really easy entry onto speed, and then a lot of control. It is a little spanny, so you have to be careful to make sure your feet aren't too far to the rails, or else it gets like a little bit wonky. But I found it actually was, you can move your feet around, and you've got a pretty big sweet spot on this wing. Turning, it's slow. Like, this thing is definitely slow. I mean, even with a small tail wing, it's definitely slow. The really heavy duty, sturdy mast, like you'd feel that structure and strength when you're going through white water and foam. It was really choppy and kind of wonky today too, so it like gives you a really stable, solid platform. So the pros were real positive front foot pressure. The turns are just really gradual and slow and easy. You're not cranking it back and forth. You need to shim out the tail and do a shorter fuse if you want to get this thing to turn. But even so, if you want to be turning, you should be riding a smaller wing anyways. I think this is going to be a great wing for light air, you know, but the thing I really liked about it is that you get in a swell, you just drop the wing and just cruise. It's hard, it just goes on foil for a while. Really easy to stay left out on foil. You can just kind of motor and cruise. You know, that definitely was the positives. The negative is that it's heavier. You notice the weight getting out through the short brake and stuff was a lot harder. You notice it riding. Is some whistling for sure, like, you know, kind of draggy and some, you know, a little bit draggy and some whistle. With that draggy, I think it's because they've got a lot of pretty steep tail angle, making it, you know, really like the trailing edge of that tail angle is kicked up, so that's what gives you a lot of that stability. It also makes it stiffer, but it makes it easy to ride. That's why people really like this setup. But a little bit of whistle, like particularly if you, you know, it's kind of just humming a little, like not bad, not super annoying. I've been on wings that are just like, I can't even ride them because they're driving me nuts. This was not a problem at all, but it is slightly noticeable. And it's just stiff, but besides that, like gliding, swell on this is super fun. I mean, you go way upwind and just like grab a swell and just cruise. For like all the way to the beach. You're just cruising on foil. Like, you don't need to turn to stay with the wave. It kind of just keeps that right speed, because it's going a little slower. It keeps that right speed just to stay with the swell. It's kind of like a, you know, like you ever seen a porpoise, which I saw some today, just gliding with the swell. It was so cool to have that experience, because it's just very easy to glide. So axis, you know, 1050, HPS 1050, I think is just an awesome glider. It's gonna be a great light wind wing. And then I think beginners can ride it too. I think it'll be easy. You know, it's bigger. It rides bigger than the Armstrong HS 1550 V2. HS 1550 V2 felt a lot kind of smoother, a lot turnier, you know, about the same to get up on foil, like maybe a little more, just a different feel, because Armstrong's got kind of equal foot pressure. This one's got a lot of front foot, so it kind of it gets you, like, gets that front foot kick a little earlier. And you know, the turning in the Armstrong, you know, I rode the I knew that this would be stiffer, so I went the 70 fuse in the 232 tail, no shim, and that thing was still way turnier. With the Armstrong, like, that 1550 V2 can go super fast, so like, you get on a swell and sometimes you're just mocking, so you just kind of ride out away from the swell, so you have to kind of stay with it to keep turning, or else you're just gonna blast past the swell on the Armstrong. Whereas this, you just like let go and cruising, you know, you're going the right speed, just rolling. So again, definitely really impressed with the Access, really like the aluminum setup. It's a really high quality product, which is an awesome high quality product. The wings are very well designed and very easy to ride. You know, there's a couple of little quirks that I don't like about it, but most people won't care or notice the difference. You know, so that's the deal. If you want more reviews, we're gonna be putting them up online, realwatersports.com, or you can reach out on the phones, 252-987-6000, and we'll take calls and kind of figure out this Access story, which foil's right for you out there. Have a great day. Sessions.